How to kill weeds in St. Augustine. There are lots of different kinds of weeds, some easier to kill than others. If you're talking about general kind of winter weeds, we're going into springtime, coming out of winter and going into springtime, you get lots of clovers, and we just classify them as the winter weeds that come up. And we have found in my own yard, I put out Scott's Bonus S. It's a fertilizer that's been impregnated with a chemical that is a fairly good weed killer as well. And if you put that out there just like you do fertilizer, follow the directions on the bag, and you put it out with your push fertilizer spreader, that is one that can clean up a lot of the winter weeds. You get into some of the hardier weeds, you have to, pre-emergent, I guess, is probably the best way to control weeds. You put that out in the right before we go into springtime, right before the temperature warms up. But most of those, I believe, are controlled, and you have to have a chemical applicator's license to do. So a True Green or a Green Up or somebody like that has to, somebody with an applicator's license has to come out and put those out. But they put those chemicals out in a liquid form, and they basically form a barrier on top of the soil to where if any seeds of weeds are there or get put there in the future, they can't germinate because of this layer of pre-emergent herbicide is basically what they're putting out. The weeds never exist, obviously, is the easiest thing. The Atrazine impregnated fertilizer for the springtime, and then the hardier weeds, there are lots of different things out there that you can buy off the shelf depending on the variety of grass that you have and whatnot. But the hardier weeds, Dallas grass and whatnot, usually Roundup is usually the only thing that can, especially once the weeds get very mature. Roundup, just spot spraying. Roundup is a non-selective herbicide, they call it, meaning anything that it touches, it kills. So you would want to apply something like that on a day that's not windy at all, and it's actually, the hotter the better it is outside, the more it's going to soak that chemical up and do its job. The biggest problem in St. Augustine is Bermuda grass, though. If you've got Bermuda grass in St. Augustine, there is no selective herbicide that'll kill Bermuda grass out of your St. Augustine without killing the St. Augustine. So when you have Bermuda grass that's so bad and it bothers you that you've got a mix of grasses out there, the only way to get rid of it is to get Roundup and follow the directions on the packaging, and usually we do the service as well. We put it in a pump up sprayer and put it in the concentrate and mix it with water, and you spray every square inch of the area you're trying to get rid of, and wait about 10 days, and then you come in with either a weed eater or sod cutter and cut that area out and haul that off, and then plant the new St. Augustine. It's a very laborious task and an expensive one, frankly, to do that as well. But it is unfortunately really the only way to clean the Bermuda grass out of your St. Augustine. If you neglect to spray that Bermuda grass with Roundup before you take it out with that sod cutter too, you take the sod cutter, cut it off the green grass, and you would be left with the roots would stay in the soil, and in 6 months to a year the Bermuda grass is actually going to reappear even if you use totally clean St. Augustine over it. So Bermuda grass is a tough one to get rid of, but we've had lots of success with doing it by that method.